why do smart teams still fail? They have the right skills, the right people, the right strategy, and still something is not working. We see this again and again in teams around the world, across industries and across cultures. The World Economic Forum just released the Future of Jobs Report 2025. They list the most important skills for the future: analytical thinking, creativity, resilience, and leadership. Important skills, but here is the uncomfortable truth. Most teams already have those skills. So why are they not showing up? Because skills don't fail, people working together do. And if we don't fix this, the future skills will just stay theoretical. And over time, performance drops, trust erodes, teams slow down without always knowing why. Think about your own experience. You can have very smart people but still make poor decisions. You can have creative people but unimpressive innovation. You can have leaders but very little trust. You can have global teams but constant misunderstanding. So what is going on? The problem is not the skills. The problem is the space between people. But before we even talk about culture, we need to talk about something deeper: how we perceive. Because most people think they understand what is happening, but they're reacting to their interpretations, not reality. And if we misread the situation, everything that follows is built on the wrong foundation. This is why at KnowledgeWorks we start with perception management, learning to slow down, to describe, to interpret carefully, and only then respond. Because if we don't do that, we misread people, we misread intent, and we misread the situation. And that is where things start to go wrong. So what do we do instead? At KnowledgeWorks, we call it creating the third cultural space. It's not your culture, it's not my culture, it's something we create together. A space where people feel understood, where people feel safe, where people can contribute fully. Because here is the reality: skills do not flow automatically in teams, they flow in the right environment. And creating that environment requires us to understand the human terrain in the room. Who is in front of me? How do they think? What drives them? How do we interpret what is happening? And this requires a shift. It is not enough to know about people. We need to have a cultural learner mindset. Good learning comes from good questions. And when we stop assuming and start asking, we begin to understand people more deeply. And that creates space for something new, a shared cultural space. And this is where things start to change. Let's go back to the future skills. Instead of listing them all, let's look at them in three simple groups. First, the thinking skills: analytical thinking and creative thinking. Different cultures think differently. Some focus on logic, some focus on relationships, and some focus on power and outcomes. If we don't understand this, we don't get better thinking, we get friction. Better thinking does not come from smarter people, it comes from better understanding. The second group is people skills: leadership, empathy, and service. Leadership does not look the same everywhere. Empathy does not sound the same everywhere, and respect does not feel the same everywhere. Many leaders believe that they are leading well, but only within their own cultural lens. You cannot lead people you do not understand. And the third group is about adaptive skills: resilience, motivation, and curiosity. People respond to pressure differently, and people are motivated differently. People learn differently. So, if we misread people, we will mismanage them. What we call lack of resilience may actually be misunderstanding. And this is not random. It is deeply connected to how we're wired as cultural human beings. Each of us is influenced by different worldview drivers: doing what brings honor, doing what is right, or doing what brings power and control. If we don't understand this, we will keep misreading each other. So what is the skill behind all those skills? It is intercultural agility, the ability to understand, to adapt, and to work effectively across differences, and to create culture together. It helps analytical thinking become richer. It helps creativity become safer. It helps leaders become trusted. And it helps resilience become shared. Without intercultural agility, the future skills stay theoretical. With it, the future skills come alive. And this is why we focus on building high-performing intercultural teams. We keep it simple. We focus on 4 things: building trust, improving communication, aligning around purpose, and strengthening relationships. Because strong teams are not built on values on walls, they're built on behaviors in the room. And this is where healthy teams take things to the next level. And many teams don't even realize that this is what they're missing. So if you're leading a team today, if you're working across cultures, and if you want these future skills to actually show up, you need to start building a resonant culture. You need to learn how to create a third cultural space. And you need to equip your people and your team with intercultural agility. Because the future does not belong to more skilled people. It belongs to teams that know how to work together.